Welcome to this channel. Mau belajar bahasa Indonesia atau bahasa Inggris dengan cara yang seru, santai, dan mudah dipahami? You're in the right place. Belajar kosakata dan ekspresi sehari-hari. Learn daily vocabulary and expressions. Dengarkan contoh situasi nyata. Listen to real-life examples. Subscribe sekarang dan nyalakan notifikasi. Let's learn together and have fun.
Hey, welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping into something I think, well, most of us have bumped into, catastrophizing. We've got some great material here that really digs into this.
Yeah, it's a common one. Catastrophizing, put simply, is just when your brain kind of leaps straight to the absolute worst thing that could happen.
Right.
Even when there's, not much real reason to think it will. It's like overthinking on overdrive, really.
Totally.
Yeah.
The material we looked at gives that classic example, right? Like you're a bit late submitting something for work or school, and bam, your mind goes, I'm going to fail, my GPA's shot, my whole future's ruined.
Exactly. It's that huge leap from a pretty small trigger to this like massive disastrous outcome. That's the key thing.
So our mission for this deep dive is basically to get a handle on why we do this and maybe more importantly, look at some ways to manage it, all based on the info we've got here.
Sounds good.
So thinking about the downsides, what does consistently doing this actually do to us? The source material seemed pretty clear.
Yeah, it really dials up the anxiety and stress levels. Makes sense, right? If you're always picturing disaster, your body's kind of perpetually braced for impact. And that makes it way harder to face actual problems calmly. You're already worked up.
Yeah, that makes total sense. You're kind of pre-defeated before you even start tackling the real issue. The material also mentioned potential origins, like where this comes from.
It did. Several things might play a role. A big one can be a real fear of failure. That strong desire to avoid anything bad happening pushes thoughts to extremes.
Okay.
Also, past negative experiences can sort of condition us to expect the worst next time.
Right, like a learned response.
Exactly. And sometimes, honestly, it's just a habit, a negative thinking pattern that's become kind of automatic over time. The interesting thing is how it gets reinforced.
So it feeds itself. The material highlighted that self-reinforcing loop, didn't it?
Precisely. The more you engage in that catastrophic thinking, the more automatic it becomes. Almost like you wear a path in your brain. And then it gets harder and harder to tell the difference between, say, a reasonable worry and just pure exaggeration.
Okay, got it. So we know what it is, why it's, well, not great for us. Let's talk solutions. The information we have lay out some concrete steps. First one was just becoming aware.
Yeah, that's fundamental. You can't change a pattern if you don't even notice you're doing it. It's about training yourself to catch those thoughts when they start going off the rails.
Catching them in the act.
Sort of, yeah. Pausing and asking, hang on, is this reaction really proportional to what's actually happened?
Right, okay, so you notice it. Then the next step is challenging the thought. How does that work?
The key there is asking for evidence. Really ask yourself, what's the actual proof that this terrible thing is going to happen?
Okay.
Often when you poke at it like that, you find the foundation for that extreme fear is, well, pretty shaky.
Kind of like cross-examining your own worry.
Yeah, something like that. And then the material suggests replacing it. Swapping the negative thought for something more realistic.
Realistic, not necessarily like super optimistic and ignoring problems.
Exactly. It's not about pretending everything's perfect. It's about considering outcomes that are just more logical, more probable. So instead of I'm definitely going to fail. Maybe it's, okay, this might be a setback, or maybe I'll learn something from this challenge. Just bringing it back to balance.
Got it. And the last bits mentioned were mindfulness and journaling. How do they fit in?
Well, mindfulness helps you stay grounded in the present, right? So you're less swept away by what if anxieties about the future. You can kind of observe the thought without getting tangled up in it.
Observe, not react.
Yeah. And journaling, that gives you a space to get the thoughts out of your head, look at them on paper, maybe see patterns over time. It boosts that self-awareness we talked about. Can be quite calming too.
So boiling it down, catastrophizing is basically this mental trap we can fall into, and it just makes stress and anxiety worse than they need to be.
That's the gist of it. But, and this is the hopeful part from the material, it is something we can work on. We can train ourselves out of it by becoming more aware, like we said, questioning those automatic negative assumptions, and consciously choosing to focus on what's actually more likely to happen.
That feels doable. Empowering, actually. Yeah. Okay, so maybe a final thought for everyone listening. What if just this week you tried to catch and challenge one instance of catastrophizing? How might that actually change how you feel about a situation that might otherwise stress you out?
Good question to ponder.
Definitely something to think about.
Thanks
for taking this deep dive with us today.
Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully useful. Don't forget to like and subscribe.